let's keep talking about discipline. And I want to go back to that scripture from the other day from Proverbs, that he that hath no rule over his spirit is like a city that is broken down and with no walls. We don't want to be that. So I love analogies. I like to teach, and I really love analogies. I love analogies because that's the way that I learn. Because when you have an analogy, you take something that you understand and you link that with another concept that you may not have 100% clarity on. And when you link them together and there's a parallel, then it speeds up learning. You can learn faster. That's why I love analogies. So I have an analogy for, okay, I want to build out the concept of saying that you are the city. Excuse me. So let's say that you are the city. So we want to build ourselves up, right? We don't want to be a city that's broken down without walls. So we build ourselves up to be a city that is well run, a city that is thriving, a city that is growing, a city that is desirable to live in. Now, the first thing a city needs, infrastructure. And this is the definition. I love definitions too. Sometimes we be thinking we know what something means, but you really don't. But the definition for infrastructure: the basic physical and organizational structures and facilities, buildings, roads, power supplies needed for the operation of a society or enterprise. So for a city, in order for a city to be operable, it needs infrastructure. So some of the things that we need for infrastructure is like roads, buildings, bridges, of course, like you said, power, or where the electricity or whatever is going to power the city or the grid, transportation, things like that. But before I go there, I want to talk about, just expound on some of the things that make up what a city is. And I'm just going to say some of them. I might not have all of them, but these are the ones that came to my mind. We got government, commerce, roads and buildings, transportation, and residents. So for government, if we liken ourselves to a city, then I would say that the government would be like your heart. What is governing the city? What governs the city is your heart. What's going on in your heart? Is your heart righteous? Is your heart submitted to the Most High? Is your heart submitted to Him? Do you love Him? Are you reading the Word? Do you accept the Word as an authority in your life? Do you abide by it? Are you governed by the Word? Are you governed by the Most High? Ultimately, so that government is your heart, and within your heart is your thoughts and your integrity, your character. Are you just? Do you have joy, peace? These are the things that run the city. So the very basis of a city is like the government of the city. Like there are some cities that are corrupt, and no matter what you do in that city, you can't turn the city. The city will never fully progress because of corruption. So it has to be dealt with from the root. The same is so for yourself. Whatever it is that you want to do, walking in purpose, you want to have success in life, you want to grow, anything that you want, the first thing that has to be dealt with is your heart. So the government of your city, it has to be right. Your heart has to be circumcised, your heart has to be washed, your heart has to be cleansed. And we don't really know what our heart is like. Every man is right in his own eyes. But the way that we know is that we read the Word and we see ourselves in it. And the Word is what will shine light on who we truly are. So the next thing in your city, your roads and your buildings. So roads and buildings, I would liken that to like your body, your physical body, your health, things like that. So a city, in order for a city to be operable, it has to have roads that are operable. The roads need to be, well paved. You need to be able to get where you're going. If you're from where I'm from, then you see big potholes, like huge potholes that you hit it so hard, make your radio turn on or off. Like you ever be riding and you're in silence, and then you hit something so hard the radio come on, or you jamming and you singing your songs, you hit a pothole so hard and then your radio turn off. So you need to have good roads. You have to be able to get through. There has to be, buildings need to be well established. Buildings need to be built correctly, not falling down. Now, you don't want broken down buildings. I just had a thought. About and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to talk down on my city, because every city has good and bad, but this is just a good example. These examples are just coming up as I'm talking about this. But I remember in Detroit just having several reports of these old buildings that people own, but they weren't taking care of them, and the bricks were falling off the buildings, hurting people, like busted somebody's car window out before. I think one of them hit somebody, and they were trying to find who's the owner of this building. They need to fix this building. It's falling down, and it's just dangerous. But yeah, anyway, the buildings need to be well kept. The buildings need to be in order. The buildings need to look good, not only do they need to be you don't just want them operable and occupied, they need to look good too. Some cities have ordinances where your building to your business has to look good. It has to have a proper awning. It has to have a proper sign. It has to be well lit. It has to be clean. The parking lot has to be swept, because we want things to look good, and we want it to be welcoming to the people who are going to come to us. So let's think about that for your body, right? So know ye not that your body is the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh, or know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit? So if you literally house the Ancient of Days, I mean, come on, like, you literally house the Creator, should should the temple be looking good? I mean, like, when you look in the scriptures, and you look at how the temple that the Most High had Solomon to build for him, for his presence, it was very specific. I mean, it was very specific about how that temple was supposed to be built. It was not just no hodgepodge, just random thing. It was very specific, and it was of high quality. Everything in it was very expensive. It was the best of the best of that land and far away lands. So if y'all like gave instructions to build something so beautiful for him to meet people in, for him to be housed in, then if we say that we are his temple, we know that we are his temple, we profess that and believe that, how should we be treating ourselves? Like, we should be we should be healthy, which is going to your diet. We should be healthy. We should be eating right. We should be hydrated. We should be looking good, smelling good. We should be clean. We should have mobility. We should have activity of our limbs, activity of all of our faculties. And I know some people, you might have injuries, or you may have been born with some kind of malady or something like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you have the ability to work your body, if you have the ability to improve your body, you should be doing that on a regular basis. Like, if we set apart service of the Most High, we should be working our body. We should be looking good. We should be healthy. We should be able to run. We should be agile. And if we're not, we should be working on that. It should be a goal of ours. I mean, everybody's in different places, Some of us, maybe you're not as agile. Maybe you're not, your body is not as mobile. But it should be a goal of ours to get there. We shouldn't just be content, just like it is what it is, and just sit down and wait to die. Sometimes I think we almost be bragging about our body breaking down, bragging about how bad our knees are. We bragging about how bad our back is and how hard it is to get up. Like, that's backward. We should not be glorying in malfunctioning in our body. We should not glory in bodily malfunction. We should be glorying in improving our bodies and healing our bodies and being able to move as we get older. So your buildings and your roads should look good. We want people to come through our city and like what they see. We don't want people to come through our city and turn their nose up. We don't want people to come through our city and be like, man, I don't want nothing that guy. Let me get up out of here, right? Because that's how it is. If you drive through a city and it's potholes everywhere, the roads are torn up, it's dark, every building is scary, it's trash everywhere. Do you want to go there? First of all, do you want to live there? No. Secondly, do you want to shop there? No. You probably don't even want to drive through there. You don't even want to see it. right? So as set apart servants of the Most High, we should have good looking buildings. We should have good looking roads. People should look and say, wow, I want to go there. That's a destination place. I would love to live there. I would love to shop there. I want to do my business there. I want to start a business there, right? So another thing is let's talk about transportation, and this is the part where we get into discipline, the meat of the subject. So transportation, I liken that unto your routines, your consistency, and your movement. So transportation is when you're moving one thing to another place. So you have a city, okay? You the city, it's your body. You look good, you smell good, you feel good, whatever. So we have that part down, right? But what are we doing? You know, what are we actually doing in this place? So you need your transportation to go to and fro. You need your transportation for commerce. You need transportation for education. You need transportation for socialization, whatever it is. There should be some movement going back and forth. We're going here, we're going there, we're doing this today, we're doing that today. Transportation needs to be reliable, and reliability comes from what? Consistency. So whatever it is that we do, we need to be consistent in what we do. So wherever it is that we go, the places that we're called to be in, whether you're called to be in a workplace or you're called to be in some kind of marketplace, it's entrepreneurship. If you're called to be at in fitness, or you're called to be in the arts, whether it's dance or art, whatever it is that you're doing, the talents, the gifts, the purpose that the Most High put in your heart, the things that you're supposed to be doing, that you like to do, that you get joy out of, you need to be consistently doing it, right? So it's cool for a city to have a bus, which is nice. You got a bus, okay, all right, but do that bus run on time? Because sometimes you have a bus, like I said in the other video, you have a bus and you can't rely on it. It's late. You don't know if it's actually coming. It's supposed to come every 20 minutes. It's coming once per hour. Sometimes it does come, and they said they full. You know, it's out of order. They can't let anybody else on the bus. So when it comes to the transportation mode, the modes of transportation that you have, because you have different things that you do. You have different disciplines, different skill sets, different creativities. But what you're doing, is it moving though? And is it moving consistently? It should be moving consistently. And when people see that what you're doing is moving consistently, what you teach, the things that you do to inspire people, the things that you do that people like to watch, that you teach people through your actions, you teaching people through your words, you teaching people through with wisdom and knowledge and whatever it is, everything that you do, it should be so consistent. I'm talking to myself right now. It should be so consistent that then people say, I can get on that bus. I think that bus will get me where I'm going. I can take that train because I believe I'll get where I'm going if I get on there. So if I get on there, I know that I will get where I'm going, and I don't have to worry about it being unreliable, me being late, it dropping me off, right? So when you think about it, it's so many things that we can do, but when we're inconsistent, we disappoint people and people drop off. Like Yah has called his people to be a light to the world, to teach people, to show people what to do, to lead and guide people to him. But sometimes we do that for 2 weeks and then we stop. Sometimes we do it for 2 days and then we stop. I'm talking to myself. But when you are consistent and people know I can, if I get on here, it's gonna take me there. They might have got a late start, right? You may have a late start in life for something that you need to learn how to do. But I know that if I go to this set apart servant of the Most High Yah, they will get me where I'm supposed to go. And they're going to help me get there. And they're going to be consistent. And I can follow them until I get where he's trying to take me. That's transportation. Like, what are you doing every day? What is the movement? You ever been to a city and then there's no movement? Like, it's exciting when the city is moving around. You see a lot of traffic. You know, it can be stressful, but it's exciting. There's traffic. You see buses. You see there's the train, or you see Ubers and taxis and people walking, and you see people on, you know, the bikes that you can rent. You see people even on the scooters, right? All these different modes of transportation that you see in the city. It's exciting. But have you ever seen it with nothing's going on? Like, you ever been to a city and is dead. Like, for example, like in 2020, right, when they had all the shutdowns, these pandemic shutdowns, was it or was it not very eerie to go out the streets and see no movement? It was very eerie, right? And it's the same for you. It's really weird to see a servant on the Most High and you ain't got nothing going on. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't got no projects. You ain't teaching nothing. Like you don't have a prayer routine. You ain't got no Bible reading routine. You don't have anything, anywhere that you go on a regular basis where he can use you. Because if you read the word every day, that word will explode out of you and he'll begin to use you. If you're in prayer every day, guess what happened? I like your prayer into this. If you're in prayer every day, it's like you become active on a grid. Almost like, let's just imagine like Uber, right? If you have an Uber app, if you take an Uber, if you ever driven Uber, right? You look at Uber and then all of a sudden the driver will pop up. Boom, this driver is available. The driver wasn't available before until they hit that Uber button or whatever, whatever's on the app. But they hit that button and they said that they're available to drive, and then boom, they just pop up on the grid as a driver close to you, right? That's how it is in prayer. If you're not praying, like when we're not in prayer, it's like you're not available. You got an app and everything. You do have that connection, but you're not available. You're not doing anything with it. And then all of a sudden, what happens? You get into that closet. You start interceding for people. You start praying. You start having that connection to the Most High. What happens? Oh, so-and-so's on the grid. He's on the grid. She's on the grid. She's available. And what happens? He'll start sending you people who need a ride. He'll start sending you issues. He'll start sending you stuff. All of a sudden, people will call you and tell you their problems. All of a sudden, you'll see something you want to pray for. You'll be walking wherever you're going, wherever you call to, the place that you go every single day, whether it's work, school, whatever. You'll be going somewhere and something will be on your path because you're available to intercede and you'll be used in that way. So that's how it is, like with your transportation. What are you doing? Are you reading the word? Are you praying? Are you teaching every day? Are you showing somebody a skill in business and commerce and education and family relationships? There should be some movement going on every single day. Okay, now I probably should do this first, but I kind of went backwards, or maybe not. Commerce, right? What's a city without commerce? A city has to have commerce. You need to have like goods and services. There has to be some kind of products, goods and services that are being traded on a daily basis. What do you have? You're a city, right? So when people come to the city, they should be able to get something. We don't want to come to a city that has no good food. You ever been to the city that ain't got no good food? You ever been to a city that has no good restaurants? You ever been to a city that has nowhere to buy clothes? It's just desolate. So many things have been closed and shut down. Things used to be there, but they're shut down, or it's underdeveloped and there's nothing there. Guess what? If your city doesn't have anything, your city doesn't have any businesses, your city doesn't have any services, anybody got no reason to come there unless they live there. If I don't live there, what do I come here for? But when the city is bustling and there are restaurants and you can go there and you can have fun, they got entertainment, you can go there for education, you can go there for fitness, for services, you can get your hair done, your nails done. They got the best techs, they got the best hairdressers, they got the best barbers. It's so many things that can be done. People are gonna come to you. People know that if I come to this city, I know one thing, if I come to this city, I can get this done right. I know one thing, if I come to this city, I can get the best food. I can get the best clothes. I can go to the best stores. It's not hard for me to find what I need there. So I don't mind spending the day in that city, even if I don't live there. And I would love to live in the city. You want to live in a city that has what you need, right? It's convenient. You don't have to go far for what it is that you need. So for ourselves, when it comes to products, we should have products, goods, and services, right? But what is that for a person? What has Yah put in you? What is it that you know how to do? Are you a writer? Are you a singer? Are you an artist? Are you a dancer? Are you a business person? Are you a cook? Whatever it is, what are you offering? Some of those things are like products, or services. Some of these things you're offering people, and it's helping people in their life. Don't sit on arts, because arts inspire people. You can listen to a song that's so beautiful that it inspires you to go write your book. You can watch a person dance with all their might, and what they do is so inspiring that you decide, you know what? that inspired me so much that I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna start back studying without, you know, my skill set. I'm gonna start back studying for school. Whatever that you do, when you do it all your might and when you do it consistently, you inspire other people to do their gift. So that's why you need to do whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing. So with the different things that people are called to do, everybody's called to do something. There should be something that you're, like I was saying, people should be able to come to your city for all kinds of things that they need. There's so many people in the world right now who need so much help like never before. People who need help like never before, because it's really, really like awakening people's hearts, and people are beginning to cry out for him. People are looking for help. People are looking for peace, joy. They want him. They want that order. They're trying to figure out what's going on, because things are getting so dark. They're running away. I don't like that. I need to figure out what I do need. People need help like never before, and there are so many of us that all of Yah's people, we have the answer and we know just what that is, and he's dispatching us, but we're not moving. Some of us are not moving because our cities are not built up. Our cities are not built up. We still lack discipline, so we're not being consistent in anything. We're really not helping people. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, every now and then, but on a consistent basis, not really. And a change has to come, because people need help. His people need help. Like, somebody is crying out, somebody is praying, somebody is waiting for an answer and for help, and you have it. So it's time for us to be disciplined. Discipline is the first thing we had to do. We got to build our cities up. So, and to be honest, some of us, we don't really want to build up our city because we don't want nobody to come. So you think about, okay, look, let's see. Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on hill cannot be hid. So imagine a lit city on a hill. You can't hide it, right? People are going to come. People are going to come from far away because they're going to know what's there. Some of us, we don't want nobody coming. We don't want to be bothered. We don't want nobody asking us for help. We don't want to help nobody. We don't want to walk with nobody. None of that. Why? Because in order for us to help somebody, in order for us to build them up, that means that we got to be disciplined. We don't want to do that. I ain't gonna lie, because that was me. I didn't want to be disciplined. I knew that, like, I'm telling you, years ago, like over 10 years ago, I knew that I was being called to a very disciplined life, but I did not want to be disciplined. And now that I've grown so much, it's like, man, see, Yah will put you in a position where you would cry out for discipline. Like, discipline is painful, but when you experience so much turmoil on the inside, or chaos on the inside and outside, you really realize, wow, discipline actually is easier. You know, it's just, you just got to put up more up front. But discipline actually is easier. I mean, you're going to suffer either way. You know what I'm saying? At least I'd rather suffer and have some productivity and success in my life than suffer and have nothing, you know? Thinking that you're free when you're really not, because freedom is really in the discipline. So we want to build our cities up. We want to build up our infrastructure, and the power of our city got to be the power of the Most High. Like, seriously, it has to be powered by Him. You cannot do it on your own. Can't do it on your own. You cannot do it on your own. You really have to have your mind renewed. You have to have your mind changed. You have to change your mind. Sometimes you know you're not disciplined. You know you're lazy. You know you're inconsistent. You know you start and stop stuff. You know you lack focus. But you can't always create that from within. You mean, you can read books, or, you know, but you can't always do that. It really takes a spiritual move on you. It really takes His power to change your mind, and something click, and suddenly you just be like, you know what? My mind is changed. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but you read the word enough, you roll with the Most High enough, you're going to experience a time where it just suddenly, you could just be driving and it just click, something just changed in your mind. Like, wow, my mind just got changed. But it was a build up to that. You know, it didn't just happen just, you know, in a split second. It was a build up to that. And it happened by you continually fellowshipping with Him and being before the word and depositing the word into your spirit, praying and fasting, doing these things, and then by you doing that and you communing with him, then you are changed in his presence. So let's build our cities up. Build your city up. Make a beautiful city, a city that is lit, a city that is hustling and bustling, full of commerce, great transportation, good infrastructure, good government, a righteous government. And that's literally kingdom. That's kingdom. That's what the kingdom is. So that's all. Build your city up.